But Dad, isn't it time for illegal ham in the face? But bro, where's the banjo?
Some Cleveland sports shows try to give you hot takes, but only one can give you a big old piece of hot ham. Welcome to Illegal Ham to the Face. Talking all Cleveland sports. And don't forget our Fat Boy Tuesday, where we also ham it up with some fun food topics. Without further ado, let's serve up some ham. Here are the Ham Boys, Fatty and Big Bri.
What is going on, everybody? I am that fat guy, Jared Fatty Bates. He is Big Bri. That is Miss Lil in the background. What's going on, big fella?
Hey, man. How you doing?
You are just still sporting the Michigan gear. Look at that. You're going to ride this wave until it kind of just pops, aren't you?
Oh, absolutely. Like we were talking just a couple minutes ago. Not super excited with the hire of Sherrod Moore. I feel like he was the most convenient hire. And so I don't know. It may be a while before Michigan goes on a streak like they've had the last 3 years. So I'm going to enjoy this.
Well, I hope so, because we do have some news from Ohio State that's happened over the time that we've been off. Want to welcome everybody on in. We are Legal Ham to the Face. We go live every Tuesday around 7-ish. We're a little late today. We're kind of chatting in the background. We are a Network 216 show. We are brought to you by Kheel and Lake Erie APA. Also, City Dogs of Cleveland. Now, Bri, I did get some news today. 19 Action News actually dropped this on Twitter right before we came on. The kennel has 160 dogs right now. They got over 20 dogs just right before Valentine's Day. Their kennels are full, people. So please go help City Dogs Cleveland. Adopt, donate, foster, whatever you can do to help them empty out some of these kennels. Please, they have the cheapest adoption rate out there, Bri. I think it's like, what, $60 for a puppy, which is huge. And then they have discounts on certain weeks where it's like $21. So keep an eye out for that. But please go help them out. It's going to pop next year with all the coaching hires. Welcome on in, Justin. Yeah, we'll get into that here a little bit later. Ohio State had an offensive coordinator, and then he left, and now they got a new offensive coordinator, which kind of shocked the crap out of me. We'll dive into that here a little bit. Dive into some Browns news, Bri, because last time we checked, we didn't have any awards, and now we got awards that we got to talk about, which is always fun for us. We have a Guardian Great hanging it up that we're going to talk about. For Fat Boy Thursday, we are talking Fat Tuesday, Bri, which happened. The Poonskis were out on Tuesday. And then finally, rounding out the show is our top three with 3 things that would be hard to give up for Lent. And I asked this question to one of the guys at work, and he had one of the best answers, Bri. He said sex, drugs, and rock and roll. So I kind of agree with that. Party on Rockstar.
You agree that drugs are hard? Well, yeah, I guess if you're on drugs, they probably are hard to give up.
Yep. So welcome on in. All right. So we always start our show with some shout outs. Bri, do you have any shout outs this week?
No, I don't think I do, which might be a good thing after last week's shout out.
Okay. Well, I kind of got to bring the somber note down again, which I apologize, Bri, but we do have our friend Mike Holzheimer. You remember him? He's got a benefit to help out his brother who had a stroke. It is going to be Saturday, February 24th at 3 p.m. to question mark. They're going to be at Murphy's Law, which is right there around, I believe it's 150th and 71 area in Cleveland. So if you could please go help them out. They're trying to raise some money to help for some medical bills and things like that. So if you could please go check that out. We'll have it on our Facebook page, and I will try to share it out through other means too. So please go check that out. They're going to have food, drinks, all that stuff. Go help out one of our friends who's been on our show multiple times. We love Mike. Gotta have him back on here soon. So just want to put that out. Go help out one of the ham friends because that's always the medical bills always catch you, Brian. They catch you off guard. We've had that before with one of my buddies who was battling throat cancer. Tried to do a benefit for him also. So please, if you can help out, go out to Murphy's Law on Saturday, the 24th. And Memphis and Fulton, Drew Carey's Hangout is what Harold said. Harold is joining us tonight. Thank you, Harold. So yeah, Memphis and Fulton. So go out, check that out, please. Help out one of our buddies. He's, like I said, he writes for NEO Sports Insiders. Great guy. And Justice said, yeah, med bills do suck. We all got them. We can't get away from them. So, Bri, that's the only shout out I got right now. Let's get into our show, get into our trivia. That is brought to you by City Dogs. And before we get into our trivia, Brian, before I play the sounder, I'm going to say this once again, 160 dogs in that kennel. Please go help adopt. This is the one that we got this week. We still have Dee Dee this week. She needs to get out of that kennel. So please go adopt a dog from City Dogs. Great people there. They do great work. Whole bunch of people are fostering animals too. So you got to factor that in. So please go help out City Dog. Look at that face, Brian. How can you say no to those faces? Like, it's hard. Like, I sit there and I talk to my wife all the time. Like, can we get one? She's like, no, we already have one. I was like, I know, but honey, they need help. And she goes, no, we already have one. So if you don't have one, you want one, please go get it from City Dogs. Bri, man, we gotta get some help out to them. We gotta do something.
I was just thinking today, I joke with my wife sometimes, like, if God forbid anything were to happen with her and her and I weren't together, I'd replace her with a dog within probably a month or two. So maybe a couple dogs.
I was gonna say you might have a commune, Bri. You might be that one guy walking like 8 dogs on a leash walking down the. Oh yeah, and then the one pug in like the daddy pouch as you're walking with you.
I've been looking at. We registered for a daddy pouch, so I should have one here before too long.
Buddy, those are fun. Those are the funnest things ever.
She had me try. She got one of these. I don't know. It's basically like a long bed sheet. And you like wrap it all around your body 12 different ways. And you're supposed to set the baby in there like that. She had me try that on. So
yeah, it's a
thought about putting the dog in but it's hands free and it just goes around your torso. And yeah, it's kind of weird to me, but
I can't wait to see that. I can't wait, Bri. Like, I am so excited for you. You have no idea. I can't wait for the swaddle pictures. I can't wait for the falling asleep on the chair pictures with one beer in the hand and baby passed out on the chest. Like it, like
that already. Do that with a dog. Just replace the dog with a little human.
All right, Brian. Let me play the sounder and then we'll get to our trivia. All right, bud?
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right, big fella, it is your turn for trivia.
Yeah.
And I've been waiting. Give it to me. Because last week I gave you a Cavs trivia with the Utah State and Sam Merrill. All right.
Yep.
Now,
very good.
What are we doing? What genre are we doing tonight? We doing football?
Well, yeah, you know me. I go football. This one, kind of timely, considering we just had the Super Bowl, and it's a fun one because it incorporates NFL and college. So the question is, what college? I have a list of 10 here, but what college has sent the most NFL players to the Super Bowl?
I don't want to talk to you right now because I have a feeling like you're hooking me in right now.
No, so like Tom Brady is just one, just counts as one. So it's not like Tom Brady, what's been to 10 or whatever. He only counts as one player. So
now hold on.
Just to give you an idea, the top school has 130
that have played in the Super Bowl.
They have played in a Super Bowl.
All time.
Yes, all time. So back to the late 60s. Now, I guess maybe it's unclear if they actually played or they were on a roster. So that
Well,
part's
I mean,
maybe
that's
not
kind of.
unknown. But
I mean,
they
technically, they're getting a
made
ring
it to a
anyways.
Super Bowl.
Okay.
Yeah, they made it to a Super Bowl.
Now, is it a smaller school? Or is
No,
it
these are all big schools. These are
so
all
it's
big
all
schools.
a powerhouse. All powerhouses.
Yep, correct.
All right. All right. Brian, I hate it when you do this to me. Now I gotta start putting my thinking cap on. All right. And I did ask you if you were drinking moonshine. That is not moonshine, people. That is probably straight water.
Just water tonight.
Just
Sorry if I'm
water
a little more boring than usual.
Well, I'm starting to think that you really did get flack last week about the 3 beers coming upstairs. Because, I have never, Brian, I even went downstairs and told my wife, I have never laughed so hard to see your reaction of her flipping you off. And just like, well, she just gave me the finger. Like,
she's handing out here, free handout, and then pulls it right back away and gives me the finger. So, not very cool.
No, that was not cool at all, especially during the show. You can't do that kind of stuff during the show.
Valentine's Day right around the corner. She made it up to me, though. She got me like these little, it looked like those shots that you buy at the store, at the liquor store, but they're condiments. So I got like a ton of those. So,
Condiments?
which to me, they're kind of a big deal. There's like hot sauces, barbecue sauces. I'm the condiment king. Our fridge is filled with 3 mustards and 4 barbecue sauces and 6 salad dressings. So they're all over the place. So this way she can give me just a little bit. I can try it. And if I decide I want to buy it, then, go to the store after that.
All right.
So I was happy about that.
Justin, you didn't. Justin said trivia is a 2-way tie. Am I getting double duped here?
No, but so Justin might have seen one. So if you Googled it, yeah, you might have seen one from a year or 2 ago. The ones, and I saw that one too, but I pulled up a recent one that was done, going into this following Super Bowl. So it broke the tie, but basically the top 2 that he saw remain the top 2. Justin, if you're listening, they're still
all
the top
right.
2.
Well, Bri, let's get into the meat and potatoes of our show with a little bit of good old-fashioned Cleveland headlines. All right, Bri. So the last that we talked, Cavs were on a heater. They have lost one since then, but they came back and won last night against the Bulls. Still playing hot. They definitely need a break. They need that all-star break to come as quick as possible. Donovan Mitchell is still playing out of his mind, Bri. Still not in MVP talks, which is kind of shocking because he's making everybody better around him. And Jared Allen is still playing like an all-star. Bri, sky's the limit for this team. And I'm telling you, if somebody sleeps on them in the Eastern Conference, you better watch out because they're coming for you. I just got to, I know it's regular season. We shouldn't be pumped about regular season and all this stuff. But, Bri, after the doldrum of the NFL, and the NFL is over with now, and we got this little hiatus in between baseball and all that stuff. I mean, the Cavs are holding it tight for us right now. And, man, they are playing some great basketball. So if you want something fun to watch during the week, catch a Cavs game, man.
I know you're excited. I have a little bit of concern. They lost, and I know they just came off 16-1 or whatever they were. So it's not a huge concern. It's just maybe I'm looking forward to the second half of the year to see how this team comes together. Because when they were going on their great runs, we didn't have the big 4 all together. Now we have all the big 4 together. They're all playing. We lost to Philadelphia without Joel Embiid. We were down the entire game against the Bulls and had to come back. I think we were down, in the second quarter. We were down maybe almost 20 or something like that. So we had to claw back in 16. And then we won by 3, which, I understand. I'm nitpicking at this point. But, yeah, if you want to compete for the Eastern Conference title, yeah, it just, I don't know. Maybe you can tell me something to kind of calm my nerves a little bit, but I see this great team when Evan Mobley's out and Darius Garland's out, and then they come back and we're having trouble beating, I don't know, bottom half of the Eastern Conference teams. Philadelphia is without Embiid, so yeah, I have
Now,
concern. Maybe it'll just take time, and I'm willing to be patient because obviously we have a few months until the playoffs start. But yeah, I don't know how you can explain. Maybe they're just getting bored. How can you explain the team falling back to going on the tremendous run they had to now they're barely squeaking by, even losing to some of these bottom feeders?
okay, so the Philadelphia game, Brian, I'm going to give this one real quick because I watched part of that game. Philadelphia played out of their mind. It wasn't like they came out with their hair on fire. And I know they didn't have Embiid, but they still have some really good players on Philly. I'm not saying they don't, but you also got to think about it. At that point in time, Cavs won like 17 out of 18. They were bound to lose at some point in time, Bryce. Somebody was going to catch them
Right.
on an off night. Now, last night I did watch the Chicago game. Now they came out sluggish in the first half, and the person that actually got the spark in their ass to get them going, Isaac Okoro, scored 16 points last night. Niang scored like 12 points last night to give him a little shot in the arm. Plus, he got into it with Kobe White. So I think the good thing that we're seeing about this team, Brian, is I know you're still concerned about the Big Four and everything else, but what I'm seeing on the stat sheet and what I'm seeing how they're playing out, it's actually a team effort. Okay, it is all about team and not about I. So there's a lot of passing, there's a lot of movement, but also Mobley's starting to hit his outside shot now. He's hitting a couple of threes outside, so that's going to stretch everything out. And Donovan Mitchell controlling the ball and the handle between him and Darius Garland doing the little baby pick and rolls that they've been doing now. And it's amazing to watch, Brian. It really is. Donovan Mitchell, like I said, I had my reserves about him when he came here because it was like, okay, does he really want to be here? And that's what everybody says. You know something? I'm just going to enjoy it for what it is right now. The man scores you 25 pretty much almost every night. Is averaging, I think, 7 assists a night, averaging 7 rebounds a night. So it's almost like a mini version of LeBron kind of taking over and moving the team around. And you know something? When it's time to press the pedal, Donovan Mitchell is the one that starts pressing the pedal. And it's not just him driving down and scoring. It's also him kicking to Jared Allen. It's also him kicking out to Strus, who's knocking down a couple of threes now. I think with this team, I think they just need a little bit of break. They need the all-star break to kind of catch their breath. Because with Mobley and Garland out, they had to play a lot of shorthand, and they had to play a lot of minutes between all those guys. Just giving them time to refresh their legs, get some air underneath them. And plus, Brian, they signed Craig Porter Jr. to a 4-year contract. Did you hear about that? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so I think they're doing the right things. I'm not saying it's going to be great, Brian. I'm not saying you're going to lose. It's the NBA. It's the regular season. I'm not saying you don't take point in this, but they're playing like a team now, Brian. It wasn't that way last year. It felt like a lot of pick and roll, a lot of me ball, a lot of this. And now that we can spread the ball around, it's in like seriously, Okoro scoring 16 points. That does nothing but help. I mean, you have all those guys. You have probably 8 guys that can score in double digits at any point in time with the our bench and everything. And that's the one thing I am excited about. We have a bench now, Bri. We do have a second team that can come out and play.
Yeah, and like I said, it's just for right now. It's for me. It's a mild concern. It's 2 games. I'm not going to freak out over 2 games. Maybe they were getting bored. Maybe they're looking towards the break that they had coming up, and they ended up winning one of the games. So yeah, I'm not super concerned. Obviously, this is the team that we're going to roll with. This is a team that's going to be our playoff team as long as everyone stays healthy. So, yeah, it's just a little concerning based on the last few games, but also going back to the beginning of the year. And I'm sure somebody out there can figure it out. I didn't really put in the work, but what's the Cavs record when all 4 of the Big Four are playing?
Well, they really haven't had that much, but like right now, like beforehand, it was what, like 13-13. Then they
Yeah.
got hurt, and when they came back, I mean, they went on that run. But this is probably the only second loss they've had since they've been back. I mean, they're still trying to find. That was a lot of games off in between, Bri. I mean, both Garland and Mobley. But I'm telling you what, they're ramping back up, and I'm just excited. I'm excited to have a good Cleveland Cavaliers basketball team instead of what you like to call the purgatory. You're stuck in the middle. You know, you don't want to be in the middle. You don't want to be that 8 seed. But if you get to the playoffs, like you said, you and I both said the next step for this Cavs team is Eastern Conference championship game. It has to be. I know we got our asses kicked by New York last year, but the way the things are stepping and going, those are the next steps you have to take to make your team better. And that's what they have to do. They got to get past the first round, and they got to try to make a serious run for the Eastern Conference. They really do.
Yeah, I think as long as you have Donovan Mitchell, you're going to be competing for to win playoff series. It kind of reminds me of Damian Lillard in Portland. You know, they had good guys around them, and I don't want to diminish what the other Garland and Mobley and Allen do for this team because they are special. But to me, they're going to go as far as Donovan Mitchell can take them, and you hope that the other guys can play their role. And you know, if Mitchell has an off night or something, we do have guys that can go for 20 or 25 points and pick up the slack. And we do have role players that can hit a few shots and have a hot game like Okoro just showed. But yeah, it's all good for now. The playoffs is a different beast when the lights are the brightest, as Jared Allen said last year. So if you have veteran role players that have been in the playoff series like Max Strus was for the Heat last year, I think that's going to come up big, his experience there. And, you know, hopefully Okoro learned a little bit after last year, and we can just maybe get Tristan Thompson back. Yeah, I think it would be big to have that veteran presence in the playoffs.
Also, let's be honest, also that goon down in the middle. You need that goon down in the middle.
He's our only physical presence really down low to me.
Telling you what, Jared Allen's been getting into it down there, bud. I mean, he took on Drummond last night.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right.
I have a hard time, as a lot of fans do. I have a hard time forgetting what happened against the Knicks.
All right, well, we'll check back in on that. I mean, we got a whole season left, so we'll.
Oh yeah, I'm excited.
Right,
I think it's going to be fun to see them come together. I'm not saying they can't, and they do have a couple months or a month and a half to figure it out. So yeah, I'm excited to see how they figure each other out.
Well, we have the Lyman Lounge making a presence tonight. Thank you to Mikey and Evo for joining in tonight. We got Dunlap here saying, I hope the Cavs do good. Hometown hero Mike Elfston is an NFL assistant now on Harbaugh's staff. So there we go with that. Brian, we do have to talk a little baseball. Pitchers and catchers have reported. And beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. It's springtime, baby. Pitchers and catchers are there. But one pitcher is no more. Corey Kluber has hung him up, Bri, one of the Cleveland greats. And you can't say that he's not. He goes down as a legend here in Cleveland. Gave us a lot of hope, a lot of everything else. I mean, what's your reflection on Corey Kluber retiring?
Yeah, I think he's certainly in my lifetime. It's hard for me to really speak about, 80s and before, just because I don't have a whole lot of recollection. But he's up there with some of the best who've ever pitched for the Tribe / the Guardians. So he's going to be missed. Certainly, he's going to probably go down as in a lot of fans' mind as an Indian. And so we thank him for all that he did. I mean, some of those playoff stretches that he would go through, the 2016 one I think of is just a machine. You know, Bauer goes down and we just we put more on his plate, and we put more on his plate, and do this and last until the 7th inning, and then send out him there in Game 7 when he clearly was running on E. But just some masterful performances. You knew whenever he took the mound that you had a chance to win, and he could go up against other teams' aces, and you feel like all the offense needs to do is get 2 runs, and we're sitting pretty. And sometimes they couldn't do that, but that was no fault of his. And so just he had some nasty stuff. He was here for a lot longer than a lot of our prime time pitchers, with thinking Sabathia and Cliff Lee leaving a little bit early, but that's just because of how their contracts were. So I'm glad we got him and got to enjoy his game as long as we did.
Yeah, it looks like we got 2011 all the way up till 2019 with Corey Kluber. Bri, the most he's won is 20 games in 2018. The most innings he has pitched is 235 in 2014. Dude, that's a lot of innings. You don't see that anymore now. But like you said, he's going to go down as one of the Cleveland greats, 2-time Cy Young Award winner. And like you said, once he touched the mound, you knew it was either might be shambles, depending on where he was at in his career. But most of the time when he touched that rubber, Bri, you knew that team was in for a hurting, because that 2-seam and that slider that he had, that little cut back on the inside, just striking people out, making them look foolish. And he did it every time. And what I remember the most every time, not an expression on his face whatsoever anytime he pitched. And then this, Bri, right here. Every time. I mean, there's Bob Feller. Yeah. It's just unreal. He's truly one, and he's probably one of the MLB greats too, to have a 2-time Cy Young winner. Now, granted, the end of his career was kind of a little different, but man, like that 2016 season, like you were talking, the one to take us to the World Series. I mean, it was Kluber, Andrew Miller, and Cody Allen. I mean, that's what it felt like the entire time. It was like, or any other starting pitcher would go out and throw 4 innings, and then here comes Andrew Miller. But when it was Kluber would go out there and give you 7 innings, and Andrew Miller would close it out. He'd give you another 8 innings. Miller would close it out. It was always Kluber was our guy. He was our ace, and he was our ace for probably 6 years, Bri. And just happy to have him. It's sad to see him go, but his time in Cleveland is one of the all-time great times to have. I mean, I know it wasn't like super exciting baseball, but man, if he had his stuff going, you get 12 strikeouts, 13 strikeouts, 14 strikeouts. I mean, he would just make people look stupid. And I can't thank him enough for all the time and everything he's done here for Cleveland and the Cleveland Indians / Guardians now.
Yeah, I think because of his personality, and to me, because he played in Cleveland, I think he's very underrated when you look at the pitchers of the last 20 years or 25 years. Probably not many people are going to be bringing up Corey Kluber because, he's not the fiery guy. He's not this big personality. He's not. He doesn't have quotes scrolling across the bottom on SportsCenter, but he just went out there and he got it done. And he just had he had the perfect demeanor for a starting pitcher or a golfer, even because, you have one bad pitch, you have one bad shot, you have to put it behind you real quick and move on to the next one because you can't let yourself get rattled.
Yeah, he's just so good, Bri. And to find him the way they did, a late round pick, he wasn't supposed to be anything, and he just worked his ass off and just got to the bigs. And just once he got there, he said, "I'm not going back," and he just stayed. I mean, think about this: he helped out Shane Bieber. I mean, he's helped out every pitcher that is like on our staff now coming up. Cookie, he helped Cookie get his stuff back together. Like, unreal what this man did for this team in this city, especially 2016, Brian, the magical run that we were on. And it sucks that they ran out of gas, but man, if it wasn't for him that season, I mean, let's put it this way: 2016, he went 18-9, Bri, but he had 215 innings, but he had 227 strikeouts, Bri. 227 strikeouts. The most that he has had is 269. And that was, I think that was his Cy Young year in 2014. So just unreal what this man's done. And looking at his records now, Bri, it's crazy. I mean, like see here, career, he was 116 and 77, ERA of around 3.5, 1,800 strikeouts almost, and won 2 Cy Young awards. I mean, those you can't really say. I mean, that's up there with CC, that's up there with Bob Feller, that's up there with some of the greats that have come through and worn a Guardians/Indians uniform. So I just, hey, tip of the cap. I mean, thank you.
For sure.
That's all I can say is thank you. The other news that has happened since we have last talked, Bri, is your Cleveland Browns have won some season-ending awards. And Bri, dare I say that the tears from Steelers fans taste so yummy. So yummy, Bri. First off, we had Jim Schwartz winning Assistant Coach of the Year. Then we had Kevin Stefanski winning Head Coach of the Year. Then we had Joe Flacco winning Comeback Player of the Year. And we'll come back to that because I got to ask a question. And then finally, the big one, Myles Garrett finally won his first Defensive Player of the Year. And the thing that sucks for all of Cleveland is we found out through a effing tweet from TJ Watt because he was salty. So, you didn't know about that, Brian. That tweet came out before the award. TJ Watt said, I guess it's just not my year or something like that. He came out like before even the award ceremony. He found out before everybody else and kind of ruined it for Cleveland. But then you have all the Steelers fans and they're just bawling their eyes out like, he had so many more sacks than Myles Garrett. Why are we not getting the due credit that TJ Watt deserves? Who gives a shit about TJ Watt? Oh my God, I'm tired of hearing it. Myles Garrett had been double, tripled, and quadruple teamed, while TJ Watt is taking the benefit of having Cam Hayward and another great pass rusher on the other side, going up against most notably right tackles instead of badass left tackles. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it anymore. Right now, I'm not saying that he's not a great football player. I'm not saying he's not. But as of right now, Myles Garrett is better than TJ Watt. Hands down, all around, a better football player than TJ Watt. And I'll die on that hill, Brian.
Yeah, I've been saying it for a while that I agree with you. All around, I think he's a better player. I liken TJ Watt to a one-trick pony. And that's a really great trick. And, you can maybe argue that TJ Watt has more flash plays, more plays that get a lot of run on Sports Center because maybe he strips the ball or runs a guy down from the back. But, Myles Garrett, just what he did, just go back and watch the Indianapolis game. No other defensive player can do what he did in the Indianapolis game. And so I'm happy to see that they gave it to him. Some people might say maybe it's like a career accomplishment award. Maybe he wasn't the best defensive player this year, but he's been so good over his career that he deserves to get one. I don't know if that's true or not. But I'm just, part of me's sick of just how simplified the Defensive Player of the Year award has become, because as of late, it's just been whoever has the most sacks, hand him the award, which is kind of ridiculous. Like, we would never say whoever has the most passing touchdowns, he gets the MVP. We wouldn't just say whoever has the most passing yards, you get the MVP. Whoever has the most receiving or rushing yards, we give you the Offensive Player of the Year. You have to actually watch these games, and it's understandably very difficult for all these sports writers to study every game and watch every play. So they probably get caught up in the Sports Center highlights and stuff like that. And so I understand why people maybe are thinking TJ Watt's better because they see him on Sports Center all the time. But, Myles Garrett just does so many things for the Browns defense. And, TJ Watt does the same thing for the Steelers defense, but he can't win it every year. This is well deserved. This is overdue, in my opinion, for Myles Garrett, just because everything that he does not always translate to the stat book, and that's kind of what people only look at. And remember, if you go back and think of the first game, the Browns against the Steelers, and TJ Watt has all these flash plays and stuff. And it comes out later that after the game that Myles Garrett was rated higher than TJ Watt was, and everyone's just all up in arms because of it. But it's like, yeah, I don't know. I'm sure there's different ways to show that Myles Garrett is better. I'm sure there's different ways to show TJ Watt is better, but I don't know. I don't think it's Steelers fans. They're entitled. They're used to winning everything. You know, they're now complaining about quarterbacks and not being as desperate as the Browns are to find a quarterback. This is Pittsburgh. We don't trade for guys. We develop it. Hey, you forget what you had Roethlisberger for so long. You forget what it's like looking for a quarterback. You forget what it was like when you had Bubby Brister and Tommy Maddox. You're back in that. So I love it. I mean, I can't get enough of where Steelers fans are right now because it's a harsh reality for them that they're not just going to get handed everything anymore.
No, and I'm just tired, and it's not the whole TJ Watt thing and all this stuff. It's just finally for once, Bri, give Cleveland their due respect. Like, just give it to us. Like, let us just have our respect. Everybody still takes a punch at us. I mean, they're taking a punch at us on podcast, Ravens podcast. They're taking a punch on us about Steelers podcast. Like, we're still a punching city. And you know something? That's not us anymore, Bri. That's not us anymore. The past 2 out of 4 years we've been in the playoffs. We had a slew of injuries, and Justin, I love you, Justin, but he says I question the Stefanski where the players are the ones that won him that, not his coaching. I call bullshit on that because he went through 5 quarterbacks. He lost his star running back. What else is he supposed to do? He has to coach his team up. He didn't even have an offensive line. Between him and Schwartz and Van Pelt, they got that team ready to play every week. And guess what? Wasn't many blowouts in those. I mean, we had Denver game that was kind of a blowout, and the Rams game kind of got away. But other than that, Bri, every game we were in. It wasn't like we weren't in any of these games all year. So I can't really say he did a great job coaching this year, and he deserved to win Coach of the Year. Now, the one that really surprised me was Joe Flacco winning Comeback Player of the Year, Bri. And the only reason I bring that up is because a man died. A man died on the football field and came back to play football, and he did not win Comeback Player of the Year. I don't know how that happens.
Yeah, I think there are some people that were probably looking. I don't know. You can make an argument both ways. It's supposed to be a football award, what you do on the football field. So I understand the story with Damar Hamlin is unbelievable, and I think him not winning the Comeback Player of the Year takes nothing away from his story and how incredible that was. But at the end of the day, I mean, some people might view it as, what did you do on the field? And it was a little surprising to me also that Flacco won it. But when he was on the field, he was really good. He's had tremendous stats. But just the fact that he only played in 6 games,
Mm-hmm.
and he didn't play in 5 or 6 games because he was coming back from an injury. So he was just, nobody gave him a chance. And so, yeah, maybe that was, I think really there wasn't a great choice this year, if you want to be honest. People were saying Baker should have won it, and he might have come in second or third or something, but
Third. He came in third.
Yeah. What's Baker coming back from? Just sucking?
Oh boy, Bri.
I mean, because there's no I guess maybe you could have given it to Stafford or something because he missed most of the last year and he came back and led his team to the playoffs. So maybe I'm a little surprised he wasn't higher.
Yeah, no, I get you. I mean,
but
overall,
to take nothing away from all the Flacco, Damar Hamlin, Baker, they all had tremendous years. But I don't know. Everyone probably has different criteria, and that's why it's so spread out. Some people thought Damar Hamlin was a shoo-in. Some people might think Flacco was a no-doubter. Some people might have thought Baker was a no-brainer, and they all maybe kind of were right in a little bit.
Yeah, no, I was, Bri, it was just one of those things that, you sit there, the whole story of Hamlin and everything that happened, and just for him to actually want to come back and play football is just a huge thing to me. And like, that's what my criteria was. I'm like, I know Flacco played great. I understand there's other people that came back, but that man had a choice after what happened, and he still came back to play football. And just him being on the field at that point in time for me just was like, okay, here it is. I would have gave you the award in the preseason. Like, here you go. Just take it. Like, but I mean, for Browns fans though, this has got to be a huge thing, right? 4 awards that we won. I mean, this is the step in the right direction that we're supposed to be taking, right?
Oh yeah, without a doubt. And Stefanski, talk about Stefanski and Schwartz. Stefanski winning it 2 years out of 4 is unbelievable. But to me, it ratchets up the expectations. Next year we're going to be saying you've won this award twice, but you really have only won 1 playoff game, which you really weren't even at. But I still give him credit for. But I'm not trying to rain on his parade. But at some point, if you're telling me Stefanski is the best coach in the league 2 out of 4 years, how come I don't have more to show for it?
Well, hey, guess what? Quarterback stability, Bri. That's where it's at. I'm being dead serious. If you look at the 49ers, Brock Purdy pretty much played for them the entire year. Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes played for them the entire year. Jared Goff played for the Lions the entire year. Lamar played for the Ravens the entire year. It is that quarterback stability. And if your quarterback is healthy throughout the NFL season and you have a good team, guess what, Bri? More than likely, you're going to end up where you need to be at. That's all I can say right now, because right now there's so many injuries on quarterbacks and everything else that's happened this year that if you have the quarterback stability, that starting quarterback stays. Now, if he misses a few games, 3 games, 4 games, that's fine. But some of these guys have been missing 6, 8 the season. And that's just, you can't do that in the NFL today. You just can't. And if you do that, you got to have a legit backup behind you. And guess what, Brian? I have a feeling that after these past 2 years, that backup quarterback number is going to get a little bit more pricey. And they're going to start bringing in guys that are going to be a little bit more experienced instead of just picking up a rookie or, somebody off the street, like, I'm not saying like Flacco, but you know what I'm saying? Like, they're going to look a little more into that depth there behind the starting quarterback.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to take anything away from Stefanski. I'm not trying to say he didn't do a tremendous job coaching, because he did. And so you're telling me he's such a great coach. So when he has his full arsenal next year, I have a great coach. You told me that. I don't have to worry about him anymore. Now he has his entire team. So I'm expecting big things. And, he did such a wonderful job, I think, to Andy Reid with the Chiefs. You tell me if Andy Reid loses his starting quarterback and his backup, and he's on his 3rd and 4th quarterbacks, that he's going to take a team to the playoffs. I really don't think he would. Even though that defense, and we'll get to it when we talk about the Super Bowl, that defense is very underrated. But I don't think anybody, I don't think anybody else could do what Stefanski did this year. Maybe Kyle Shanahan, just because he's done it with multiple quarterbacks. But yeah, just everything that Stefanski went through and to keep this team together. And yeah, it's well deserved.
Justin has asked, has there been any word on Chubb? Right now, Justin, I'm going to treat this like I treat some things in my family. No news is good news. If you don't hear any news about Nick Chubb, that means everything's going all right and he is going to be fine. If you hear news about Nick Chubb, that probably means there's a setback and something else has happened. So kind of like Bri said, if you hear news in the offseason, most of the time it's really not good news that you're going to get. So we'll just keep it at that steady quo. I mean, I'm sure he is healing up and ramping up for next year. Bri, we got to talk about Super Bowl. Chiefs. Bri, Chiefs Kingdom won again. What a game that was. First half was boring as shit.
Up until the muff punt, it was a boring game. I was about to fall asleep, God. And then the Chiefs get. That's why luck has a lot to do with these games. I know everyone wants to crown Mahomes as the greatest to ever do it, and he definitely deserves a ton of credit. But 6 points, basically through 3 quarters. Had you and I been out there receiving a punt and we just said, move away, let them punt it in the end zone or pin us down. They get the ball, they run out the final 2.5 minutes, and the Chiefs scored 6 points through 3 quarters. As it happens, luck goes their way. It hits the guy's heel. Next play, they score a touchdown. And then it's off to the races from there. But yeah, that was I believe that was their only touchdown in regulation.
Mm-hmm.
They have one. So the Niners defense to hold them to one touchdown in regulation is pretty unbelievable.
Well, Brian, they went to overtime, and then San Francisco, new overtime rules. San Francisco opted to get the ball. A lot are saying they didn't know what the rule was, but no matter what happens, everybody gets 2 possessions, even beforehand. So kind of like a weird play that San Francisco took the ball right there. Especially the other thing is, though, Bri, what's the one rule that you do not do with elite quarterbacks? No matter how bad they're playing or how good they're playing, don't leave them with time on the clock, because that's what 49ers did. They left Patrick Mahomes with time on the clock. And I hate to say it, Patrick Mahomes did what Patrick Mahomes does: extended plays, couple rushes, 4th down and 1 calls, everything else to get them where they needed to be. And then, hey, one little slip and Cole Hardman's out, hits him right in the numbers, touchdown, game over. I mean, I picked the Chiefs to win, Bri. I think I was pretty close with the score, too. I thought I picked, what was it, 27-24, something like that. So I think I was pretty close, but the overtime was great. I think the second half of football was great. It was definitely a physical game, truly a physical game. Any other takeaways you got from the Super Bowl that you liked watching?
So basically this new, and it's just for playoff games, because regular season can still finish in a tie, and that's just how it's going to be. Basically, playoff overtime is just an extended, like college football, right?
Yes.
Instead of getting the ball on the 25, you kick off, and you get 1 possession, then I get 1 possession. If we're still tied, we do it over again. You get 1 possession, I get 1 possession. I think that's how it goes
until the second overtime.
Oh, okay. So had it gone to a second overtime, then it's just sudden death?
I think, Brian, because everybody, so no matter what happens, they each got a possession. Even if they scored a touchdown, even if the 49ers scored a touchdown that drive, Kansas City still got a possession back.
Right.
So at that point in time, it's not like, beforehand we had the overtime where you kick a field goal, the game's over. You know what I mean? Like, you still got to play out the game. And, granted, the 49ers came out, got ahead, Bri, but guess what? I mean, right there, I thought the Chiefs were going to kick the field goal and just tie it and go into the second overtime. I mean, there was only like 13 seconds left in that, and they pulled that play off.
It didn't matter. The time could have ran out on them, and then they still would have got more time in the second overtime.
Okay, I kind of figured that
because they scored with like 3 seconds left, and that's why there was no sense of urgency really for them, because the time could have ran out. They just would have started a new clock and they could have kept going.
What'd you think of the halftime show?
It was fine. I don't know why. I just wasn't paying attention much to the commercials or the halftime show. I mean, I was there. I was in my chair. I kind of was watching it, maybe distracted watching it. But it was fine. I knew probably a handful of the Usher songs. I was disappointed he didn't play My Way. I used to love My Way when I was in like elementary or middle school or something. But yeah, it was fine. What do you think?
I mean, I actually personally enjoyed the halftime show. Now, like, the audio was kind of screwed up. I was hoping the audio would be better. But like, as soon as I saw Ludacris come out with the big afro and everything else, I was like, I was done. At that point in time, I was just like, yeah. Like, I just started. My wife looked at me. She goes, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm sorry, honey. I'm going back to the club back in 2000, and like just back in the old days. Like that's the song that hit the floor. It was just, here we go. Now I do have to ask, did you see, because they had the pole dancers doing that? Did you see the one pole dancer that fell off the pole?
Ooh, no. How
Oh
bad was
yeah.
it?
It's actually kind of funny because you see Luda come out, and it was right behind Ludacris as he was coming out, and all of a sudden you just see and one and just dropped. She just dropped right off of it.
Oh,
I'm like, oh, she
jeez.
gone. She gone. Let's see here. Jesus can spend $7 million for a halftime. He can, yeah. Toby's here. He loves the Fat Boy dance. Can't get
What's up,
wrong with the
Toby?
Fat Boy dance. T Swift would have been the halftime show next year, probably with Kelsey right there dancing with her as everything happens. Now afterwards, Bright. Now I listened to the New Heights. I listened to the Kelsey Boys podcast. I'm not gonna lie. Now, did you see Jason Kelsey with the luchador wrestling mask on?
I did see that. Yeah,
He
pan
is
over to
my.
him, just going nuts, living his best life. And I heard he found it on the floor or something, and just kind
Found
of
it
put
on
it
the
on.
floor and put it on and was up there dancing with Marshmallow. I was like, he is my new best friend. I want to hang out with that man one
Oh,
night.
yeah, yeah.
Like
That's exactly what we would do
and then
if
the
if we
one
were rich
dance
and
with
famous.
just the belly. There was no arms. It was like the Weekend at Bernie's dance. He's just standing there and the belly's just rolling. He's like, oh yeah, you know that dance. Like Brian, all I can do was laugh. I'm like, that's great. I was like, that's awesome. Just living your best life, having fun, and just enjoy it. Like I just can't get over the luchador mask that he was wearing.
Gotta get me one of them.
We might have to for melt for Mutts next year. We'll do that and we'll have some fun with that. And maybe both of us do. You can come as Hulk Hogan. I'll come as the Ultimate Warrior.
I was Hulk Hogan for Halloween. Shoot, back in mid 2000s, 2005, 2006, something like that. I think the picture might be out there on Facebook still.
Well, Brian, you ready to get into Fat Boy Thursday?
Sure.
All right, here we go. I got it. We don't have. Yep. I got to find it. Oh, it's right there. And now it's time for Fat Boy Thursday. We are having fun with Fat Boy Thursday. We are talking Fat Tuesday. And Bri, we had punchkis. Cannot go wrong with punchkis. We had pierogies. We had kielbasa. Fat Tuesday is kind of why we did Fat Boy Tuesday for the longest time. Is you just want to pig out and everything else before Lent happens. So, Bri, how was your Fat Tuesday?
Kind of uneventful. I didn't do much. I maybe lived my Fat Tuesday on Monday because, you know me, I don't work. It should be a national holiday the day after the Super Bowl. So I was off Monday. So, and honestly, this year for us, the Super Bowl was very tame. It was just me and my wife and the dog hanging out at home. So we didn't go to party or anything this year. And she fell asleep. I about fell asleep because it was kind of boring until I realized I won Super Bowl square at halftime, and then that same score repeated in the third quarter. So that kind of 3-0 won twice. So as far as that goes, it was good. It was a boring game for me. But yeah, so we just did. We grabbed a take and bake pizza. We had mozzarella sticks, which whenever you cook mozzarella sticks at home in the oven, I feel like they always explode and they get cheese everywhere. And you just you're eating a hollow piece of fried stuff ready. So a couple of them were okay, but that's kind of how most of it went. And then she also got jalapeno poppers, which weren't really hot. So I think she might have had one, but I had most of them. So just finished a little bit of it on Sunday and then brought it back for Monday. So that was kind of my Fat Boy Monday.
Did you
Tuesday?
Now, do you do the cheddar cheese or cream cheese poppers?
I believe they're cream cheese. Yep.
I go with the cream.
We
cheese.
didn't make them or anything. We just bought them.
No. I know, but there's different. You got to go with the cream cheese. That's almost like the best one. For us here at Fat Tuesday, I even took a picture, put it out there. We did some pierogies. salted caramelized onions, pierogies. We did sauerkraut, kielbasa. We did, what was it? Mixed vegetables. We had a whole bunch of stuff. Did punchkis, had donuts too. Like, we didn't mess around. Like, it was, and if anybody has never had a punchki, oh my God, go have one. They are delicious. If you think about it's pretty much a jelly filled donut with dusting on top, and it is so fantastic. They got lemon ones, they got the cream ones, they got the cherry ones, and they're absolutely amazing. And man, when Fat Tuesday comes around, I mean, here in Cleveland, where the Polish Village just goes through them like crazy. I mean, they just sell them like crazy. And for people don't know, even Toby, nom. For people that don't know what Fat Tuesday is, because we do have a lot of people that don't know what the Catholic holidays are. Brian and I are not Catholic. Let's just throw that out there. Brian and I are not Catholic, but it is the Tuesday before Lent when you give up stuff for Lent. So a lot of people go out, they get hammered, have a great time on Tuesday before Ash Wednesday. So that's kind of what it is you're purging all your sins before you get Ash Wednesday, and then you give up stuff for Lent. Like Bri loves giving stuff up for Lent. Like the one time it was bacon cheeseburgers. He gave up pizza one year for Lent, which I still kind of question that one, because he tried to make garlic bread or garlic cheese sticks with marinara sauce is a whole different thing, which I'm still kind of questioning that.
Found the loophole.
You could have done it with the bacon cheeseburger too. You could have just got a regular cheeseburger instead of a bacon cheeseburger.
No.
It's okay.
No. Burger.
I mean, it's Brian.
Pizza's not cheese sticks. That's why they're called different things.
Bri, did you still not dunk it marinara?
I may have.
So the sauce was there, the cheese was there, the dough was there. It's pretty much pizza, buddy. Just it's all right to admit it.
You said it. You said it right there. Pretty much pizza, but not
it's pizza. Oh, geez.
Pretty much pizza.
All right, we're going to go back to the lean cuisines with the chicken tenders and the 3 French fries. We keep this.
Yeah, it's that time of year for me. I told you I'm on a post-football detox right now, so not good.
Yeah. All right, Toby, I love you, brother. Go have fun playing pool tonight. Justin put in pizza burgers. Ooh, man, I haven't had a good pizza burger.
No, I don't think I've ever had a pizza burger.
Wow, you never had a pizza burger?
I don't believe so.
Like, there's now I gotta refresh my memory. Like, there's always been a pizza burger with like the mozzarella cheese stuffed inside the burger, and then they do the pizza sauce.
That's a Juicy Lucy.
Well, it all depends, because they do the marinara on top. That's why they kind of call it a pizza burger. It's like marinara, pepperoni, and everything. Yeah, Justin. What? Yeah, we're going to have to get you a pizza burger, buddy.
I will. I know, right? Hey, right. I'm all for it. I love pizza. I love burgers.
All right, so I'm not even going to play the sounder for our top 3, because this kind of rolls into our top 3, Bri. Lent is now upon us. Spring is around the corner. And, Bri, I got to ask you, like I said beforehand at the beginning of the show, what are some hard things that would be hard for you to give up for Lent? It's a hard thing to do. It is a sacrifice, and you've done it multiple times. You're not even Catholic, and you've done it just to better yourself, which
I did go to Catholic church a couple weeks ago.
Shut up. How did that go? How many times did you kneel down?
Fine. I didn't kneel. No, I got.
Oh, you just sat there?
Yeah.
Right,
I'm not going to pretend like I'm Catholic. I went to Catholic church.
Well, you're in the Catholic church. You might as well do the kneeling too. I mean,
I don't know the routines.
Well, it's a lot of praying, a lot of kneeling, standing up, sitting down, getting back up, kneeling, standing up, getting back down. A couple singing, standing back up, getting down. A couple Hail Marys, standing up, sitting back down.
You ever hear Larry the Cable Guy talking about that?
Got to catch my knee. Got to get back.
Back up.
I'm already down. I'm already down. I'm not. Are we going to get back up again, or we can stay down here?
All right. So my top 3 is kind of like this. My number 3 is alcohol. Yeah, good transition. Alcohol, it's just, I don't know, basically it's been a part of my life since I was 19 years old. So like I said to you, I don't do it every night or anything, but it's probably maybe once a week, maybe twice a week with you. So it's just become routine. That's kind of why I'm trying to lean off it for a little bit. So that's my number 3. My number 2, snacks. I'm a huge snack guy. Sometimes my wife gets mad at me because she'll ask me what I have for dinner, and I'll kind of smile at her, and she knows that means I've just been snacking. So sometimes they're not always bad snacks, but a lot of times they're just processed food. So not the greatest thing. And then my number one, let's be honest, it's not a food, it's not a drink, it's not
Pizza.
a vice or anything. No, it's not a food.
Oh,
It's football, and more specifically the NFL. I've never tried it, but I don't think I could ever just ignore football even for a week and like not care, not pay
really?
attention to what happened. I don't think I could do it. I've
All
never
right.
done it. I've never tried to do it. But like I said, even when the Browns were 0-16, 1-15, I think I watched every single game.
I know we started doing shows because of that. Like,
Yeah.
no, I get it. Like, I agree with you. Number 3 for me would be alcohol. Number 3 is right up there because I mean, like, we drink tonight. Like, I know you gave it up. Not happening here. I'm going to enjoy my time talking sports with my buddy. So I mean, that's
I don't
what we're going
blame
to have
you.
here.
I don't judge you. I don't blame you one bit.
Number 2, probably one of the hardest things for me to do, and it. Let's just say in general fast food, but French fries. It is hard for me to give up French fries, dude. I love French fries. French fries, tater tots, anything of that nature, like any kind of fried potato. I'm going to try to get my hands on. I can't help it. That's the other thing. I just can't. And Bri, number 1 for me, and this might be a little curveball for you because it's not alcohol. It's not a sport or anything like that. Iced tea. I think it would be very hard for me to give up iced tea. Now, whether it be sweet tea, regular tea, raspberry tea, whatever. If it's not water, I'm drinking tea. I do not drink pop or soda that often. So for me to give up tea would be very, very hard to give up because I just love drinking tea. I don't know what it is. It's always been a part of me ever since I was little. You know, you get the sun tea with a glass jar, couple of tea bags in, sit it outside, let it brew itself outside during the summer, have that sun tea. It's just, I can't help it. It's tea. Tea is hard for me to give up, right? I mean, you came up with a great one. I mean, for NFL, I mean, I was kind of shocked. I figured you would said pizza because I know how you are
No,
with
I've
pizza.
given up pizza before. I've given up pizza before.
Have
I
you
don't know
really?
if I don't know if I could give up. Like, just imagine, like, could you not pay attention to the NFL, not listen to sports talk, nothing for an entire month, like in October or November? I don't know. I don't think I could.
God, that'd be
I mean,
hard, Bri.
I'd have to pick up a couple different hobbies to keep myself interested, so I wasn't kind of wandering back to the NFL.
I think,
But
well, Brian, I think it's also because of the season that's in. Because it's wintertime, you really can't go out and do much. You know, you got football, it's every Sunday, and normally right after church, like clockwork, after church, you go out, have lunch with the family, come back, football's on, sit back, watch football for, like, it's your relaxing day before you go back to work on Monday. After a weekend, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, I get what you're saying. Like, it would be hard. I'm not saying it wouldn't be hard. But I mean, if you ever had a chance to, maybe we should try that next year, Bri.
no thanks.
Maybe 1 week without the Browns. Give you 1 week without the Browns.
I don't want to do it. No way. I can't.
Well,
We're
it's
what?
not that
We're
you don't want to. It's about Lent. It's about sacrificing something, Bri. Can you sacrifice 1 week of the Browns?
I could for the right cause, but I'm not just going to do it just to say I did it.
Your baby girl?
Yeah, sure. She said, "Daddy, you watch way too much football. Spend more time with me." But
Bri,
we
you
got
know,
at least a couple years before she figures that one out.
Bri, you do realize that you would put her in a helmet and be like, "It's okay. I'll teach you how to play." Like, you do realize you would be that dad, right?
Yeah, it's possible.
Okay.
I could see it. We already got plenty of Browns onesies here, so
Perfect.
we're covered there. But like even college football, I think I could give up college football. Like if Michigan went into the tank, and I just really it was hard to watch them. I didn't really care how they did. I think I could give up college football. But NFL with like fantasy and stuff like that, and all the joy that brings me, plus the Browns, yeah, I don't think I could do it.
Justin came up with the great line. Said, "I want to say your mom for something hard to give up for Lent." Right, you know that's funny.
Well done.
Hey, old
Well
Dave
done.
Rule. Dave Rule right there, Bri. There it is. I'm never going to let you live that down.
No, that was one of the best zingers completely out of right field.
Hey, and that was probably the best. I have never seen you more floored. And all right, I'm going to tell a story, Bri. We're telling the story right now.
He instantly became my favorite person just with that quick wit that he showed me.
So we were at work one morning. Bri was getting coffee. And a gentleman named Dave came in, and Dave is what, 80? God,
at the time, he was late 70s at the time.
Late 70s. So Brian's getting a cup of coffee, and he goes, "Hey, Dave." He goes, "How's it going?" He goes, "Oh, it's pretty good. I was down in your neck of the woods in Medina yesterday." And Brian, without missing a beat, goes, "Oh, yeah? What were you doing?" Dave, without hesitation, goes, "Went on a date with your mom," and then just took a sip of coffee and walked away. Brian was floored. Like the look on Brian's face coming from that man, he just looked at me and then sat down. He goes, "I got nothing. I got nothing right now."
Speechless. I was like, that was perfect. That was a perfect response. I have zero comeback to that.
And everybody, like, Brian even had to take it for a second, and like it had to process in his head. He was like, "Did he really just say that to me? Like, did he just say when I'm with your mom?"
So good. So good. Hopefully Dave is still around. Where'd he go?
He's working at Canterbury now, I believe. Bro.
Canterbury, yeah. Good dude.
So, oh yeah. So I that's probably one of the all-time greats that has come through. I mean, we had a few great times with Pete. You remember Pete?
A little bit. I didn't. Unfortunately, he got sick. Shortly after I started, so I didn't spend a ton of time with Pete.
So we might have to do a story time of some stories coming up here in the off season and have some fun with it, Brian, because that was probably one of the best. I mean, I almost fell out of the chair. I was laughing so hard, Brian. Like I just and
good.
just he
really
was
good.
so straight faced and everything. Like there was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It was like
he didn't crack a smile or nothing. Just matter of fact. Here's what I did. Like it actually happened.
Pete, I hear you pinched a tent. All right, Justin, now we're getting off the rails. Peter, pitched a tent.
Gotcha. Nice.
All right. Well, Brian, let's do our trivia. All right. So you asked me what college has got the most or has the most people in the Super Bowl?
Yeah. What college has the most players play in a Super Bowl?
And you said it's a powerhouse.
They're all. I got the top 10 here. They're all powerhouses. So you just start throwing them off, and I'll tell you if they're on the list and where they are.
Oklahoma.
Not on the list.
Ooh, okay. Texas.
Not on the list.
Wow. Okay, well, we got to go Ohio State now. Is Ohio State on the list?
Not on the list.
Is Michigan on the list?
Oh, Michigan's number 1. 130.
Oh, my God. I knew you were going to just right. I knew you were going to do it right at the end.
This was so great.
Oh,
that was awesome.
You're such a dick. All right, who was number 2?
Keep guessing. Alabama's not on the list either, if you can believe that.
Florida State.
No.
Damn.
Iowa?
Maybe
no. All right. USC is on there.
Okay, I get that.
So here's the list. Michigan, 130. Miami, the U, number 2, 125, which I think that's what one I saw had Michigan and Miami both at 124. That might have been from last year or 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So Miami's 2. USC is 3. Penn State, number 4.
Shut up, really? Penn State?
Yeah, UCLA. A little surprising. But they had some good teams back in the 80s and 90s. UCLA's 5. Georgia, 6. LSU, 7. Notre Dame tied with LSU with 109. Tennessee, 106. And Nebraska, 104.
That's surprising with Nebraska. Well, no, Nebraska was a powerhouse for a long time.
Yeah, in the 90s. They had some really good teams.
Man, really? And UCLA? of all teams.
UCLA, yeah, that was a little surprising to have USC and UCLA.
Well, Brian, we didn't get into the UCLA to Ohio State. We'll have to save that for next week. So tune in next week as we talk Chip Kelly going to OSU. Get Bry's take on that.
Mhm.
Want to thank everybody for watching tonight. Bri, that still floors me. Michigan #1 again. You're just doing you're going to hook me the entire time, aren't you?
I'm still rolling on the parade tour. I'm up on the float. I'm celebrating. It's going to be a long time before I come down.
You're just Travis Kelce, drunk as shit, falling down all over the stage, just singing songs, aren't you?
I'm telling you. Like I said, maybe to you before we went on, or maybe at the start of the show. I'm uncertain about the future, so I'm going to enjoy this one.
All right. Well, let's close it out. We want to thank everybody for watching. Justin, Lyman Lounge, Toby, Harold Kheel. We didn't see Chris tonight in the chat, which I got to call him and give him
Come on, Chris.
But that's all right. I want to thank everybody that's in the chat. Like I said, you can chat with us anytime during the show. We try to bring them up as we go because we laugh at them half the time. I want to thank Network 216 for being a part of letting us be part of them and having a good time. Harold Kheel, Lake Erie APA, City Dogs Cleveland. Empty those kennels. There's 160 dogs that need adopted. Go adopt a dog. Go adopt it from City Dogs Cleveland. And other than that, Brian, am I forgetting anything?
Well, you covered it all.
All right, Brian. Well, we're here. God bless them.
Yep. God bless you. God bless America.
I guess Mom's home. See you, Lil. And on that
Maybe.
note, we want to thank our troops and first responders for everything you guys do. Thank you guys so much for allowing us to do what we do here. We really appreciate it. And on that note, we're uncorked, unloaded, and we will see you next Thursday. Have a great night.